Hey guys, Timon with Muntz Family Homestead. I want to show you today a little bit about a 2014 F350 with a 6.7. I want to show you how to service it and possibly even save you a load of money. Stay tuned. Not a lot of room in there, but it's not that bad once you get into it. I'll show you a couple of things to start with. The primary fuel filter is up here. There's a couple of connectors I'll show you how to get undone. And there's one more fuel filter, but I'll show you that in just a minute. These are not that bad again to work on, unless you have to pull the engine, which is it's a different ordeal. Under the driver's door, this is the primary fuel filter. There's a drain right there that we will loosen to let all the diesel fuel that's in this canister out. And then I'll show you how to pull the filter out. And there's also an O-ring up here that has got to be changed. So let me show you the easiest way that I found to get that out too. I'm fortunate enough at work to have a 12,000 pound lift that I can get these trucks off the ground with. For those of you that don't have, you can always drive up on a couple of 2x4s, then lay you some 4x4s on top of those, and you'll be high enough to get up under it. But here again, being the primary fuel filter, like I said, we're fixing to grab a hold of that. I'll show you how to get that done. And then this is the transmission pan. This is the drain hole for that pan. We've had some guys before that I know that have actually on 4-wheel drives, and they're kind of covered up on the oil pan up here, that have actually drained these instead of the oil. So if you do, watch yourself on that. But on these 6.7s, there is the drain hole for the pan. Some of these earlier models actually had it kind of in the middle, and it was a plastic twist type. You'll see it's yellow in color on these other ones, but I don't like those. I don't like anything on the oil pan that's plastic. This being the oil filter, you can see now these will actually, from time to time, for whatever reason, they will start leaking at the top a little bit, up around this top gasket. Directions on these say tighten and then do half a turn. That's what I do. But then also sometimes I'll go back and put a 3/4 turn or 1 turn on them just to make sure. But we'll show you how to do this. Like I said, it's not too bad, but I've also looked at a couple of things on here on the front wheels. These guys are getting low on pads, so we just may do a 2-for-1 on this one. Drain plug here is a 5/8. Reach up here and just grab a little bit of it, break it loose, pull your pan over. Like I said, I'm actually fortunate enough to have a hoist here to do this. Not a hoist, but a oh my goodness, one of those kind of lifts. Yeah. Stick the plug back in. Like I said in my other video, I always use gloves with this stuff. These chemicals that are in these oils and all, they are known to cause cancer, so please do that. And these do not have to be super tight, just get snug. And I think I found out also, see if I can get you up here, there being the oil filter, but right there, that is the oil pressure sending unit. Get my finger up in there. Sorry guys, focus is bad too. Right there. So we will also be replacing it. You can see how the oil is trailing out, going into the 2-pin connector there, which is not good for that. So we'll have to clean that up also. That is leaking there. Actually, the pressure goes into here and it reads, but inside here, it will actually leak and come out. So we'll have to replace that. I'll show you how to do that too. I've got a wrench, guys, that slides on this oil filter. Just a band wrench is what it is. Break that loose there. I'm gonna go down below here where you can see. Just let the oil drain from there. Be sure where this seat is here, you can also look at your oil filter. Be sure that the O-ring is not still on there when you change it, because if it is, the new one will not seal. And see right there, see that O-ring is stuck up there? Make sure that gets off of there. Before you put your new filter on, always just come in and wipe the bottom of this clean, because there can be dirt deposits get on there. And one thing that I do, you don't have to, but this was the way I was taught back when, let's just say a long time ago. I always fill my oil filters up as much as I can get in, because it will take a while for them to drain down. But as much air as I can keep out of the oil system, I do. Then just take your finger, put a little around the top right there. Now, I don't know if I can get you up in here to let you see. What about like that, maybe? Stay close to there. There we go. And when it seats about half around, something like that. This particular truck, guys, takes 13 quarts of oil. I use Motorcraft in these because that's what it calls for. You can use whatever you want to use. I'm sorry for the background noise. I got some guys using the pressure washer over there. I'm just a firm believer in using what's supposed to be used. And don't use a cheap oil, because you're going to get out of what you put in. And I mean, that's the truth. By the way, I'm not a spokesperson for Motorcraft parts or oils, but I like using, I just like on Chevrolets or Fords or Dodges, whatever else. If I can put OEM parts on, OEM filters, OEM oils, fluids, that's what I'm going to use. And if you'll do the labor yourself, it'll save you about, especially on diesels, it'll save you about 75 bucks. There's a little clip right here that you mash in and unplug that. That's the water and fuel sensor. I always take that out just to look at it to make sure there's nothing. So you might have a little debris right there. Can't see it on my glove. I'll wash that off and stick that back in there. Now it takes a while for this to drain, so I'm not gonna bore you with that. I'll get to the next step. This takes 1 1/4 socket. It is in there pretty tight because of the O-ring, and you'll feel like you're gonna break the whole bottom out of it. Just give a steady pull. And you will have some more fuel keep coming out once you break the seal too. That's the reason you always wear PPE, personal protective equipment. And there's your filter. I'll let it drain there. Let the bottom cup drain also. Okay, this O-ring does have the oily base on there, so the easiest way to do this, hopefully the easiest way to do this, is start one side. Don't roll it if you can help it. Put your finger up in it and get it as far as you can go. Then if you have to roll, which is, I mean, it's kind of hard to not to in times, but make sure you don't have any kinks in it. That way your seal will be good. Then take your filter, put it in the bottom. There's a little place. lock it in. And again, this does not have to be extra tight. It will stop. Just like that. Take your petcock, put back up in. Finger tight. Take your connector, line it up, stick it back in. Okay guys, we've got the, boy, I love that phone. We've got the primary filter changed. We're gonna do the secondary. These two tabs, if you'll take and pull those back and just push down like that. And put your rag under there because there will be some residual fuel. Just won't be under pressure, but just it will ease out a little. Or drip out. You don't want to get it on the engine if you can help it. And this one, I can get you closer there. They have two tabs, one on each side. Push that in, pull backwards like that. I don't know why my phone quit. But anyway, these, I think it's 2011 and below. There's a metal clamp that goes around here with a 7mm bolt down here to hold these in. The newer ones, this one being a 14, just has a plastic one. Take and go quarter turn or maybe eighth turn, kind of like yay. And you know, it will kind of stick at times. Just take and wiggle a little bit. Don't get a hammer or anything. I'm about to do it with two hands. I get it turned all the way back and just wiggle it like that. It'll slide right out. Just turn it upside down, kind of put it on this side and start renewing. Go back down in the same position that you came out with. And it may be a little stubborn, so you know, not everything goes great. Come back in and it'll lock right into place like that. Put your back one on. As it clicks in, pull the protective cover off and slide that one up. Push it from the bottom. Just kind of tug a little to make sure they're snapped in good. And that's the easy part. Next to the last step that you can do on this, that's got to be done. Cycle the key switch 6 times with 30-second intervals. That gives time for the fuel filter to purge all of the air, the fuel pump to purge all of the air from the fuel system. So turn it on and the fuel pump will start back there in about 30 seconds. And turn it off and cycle it 5 more times like that. Guys, I hope I taught you a little bit today about a 6.7 service. I'm sorry I didn't get to the oil pressure sending unit. I'll try to do that again one day. But hey, hit that like button, subscribe button, share it with your friends, and hey, remember, God loves you. Take care of yourself.